Rubies.
Hi, this is Shiva here. In this video, we are going to see how to solve this weekend hack 1 of 19th Jan 2013 worth rupees 150. In this, we are supposed to print all the possible ages given the number of children and product of their ages. If we give you the number of children and the product of their ages, we should print all the possibilities of which the ages can be. Say for example, number of children is 1 and the product is only 6, then we know his age should be 6. Whereas if the number of children is 2 and the product is 3, it has to be either the ages should be in 1 and 3. And if the number of children is 3 and the product is 24, then it could be 1 1 24 or 1 2 12 or 1 3 8 or 1 4 6 or 2 2 6 or 2 3 4. So these are the various combinations. And similarly, if the number of children is 3 and product is 12, then these are the various combinations. And if the number of children is 2 and product is 72, then these are various combinations. When you are printing, there should be a space between every age, and they should also be in sorted order. So for every combination, there should be a new line and they should be sorted. So first of all, you need to put all ones and then twos, and accordingly even the second combination should be accordingly sorted. For solving this, there is already a framework given which is giving print possible ages with the number of children and the product, and there is method to write this print possible ages, or if you want to create any additional methods, we could create it here. With this background, let's see how we can solve this. I assume that you know little bit of arrays and recursive methods so that we can solve this problem. What I have done here is I have copied that solution or the question from the site and put it into Eclipse here. And as you know, we have to implement this print possible ages method to print the possible ages given the number of children and product of their ages. To start with, what I will do is I will take the simplest solution. If print possible ages for number of children as 1, and if the product is 6. For this, it is simple. All you have to do is if number of children equal to 1, then all you have to do is simply print system.out.println of product of their ages. Whatever is the product of their ages, if you simply print that value, then it will handle for the number of children as 1. So it is working fine. Then the next step is if we have number of children as 2. If number of children is 2, then we could have multiple combinations. So what I have to do is we have to create 2 for loops and basically take each and every value of ages and multiply them and see if it equals to the product of their ages. Then we could simply print it. For this, what I will do is I will just create one for loop for int I equal to 1, because we know the age cannot be 0, and I less than or equal to product of their ages. Since we know the age can be up to 4, up to 6, whatever that value is, I plus plus, and then what we'll do is I'll take the same combinations for j also. So the single person's age cannot be greater than product of their ages, right? So for int j equal to 1, j less than or equal to product of their ages, j plus plus, then I'll simply print if I into j, if at all I into j equal to product of their ages, then we can simply print that that is a combination. System.out.println I plus space and then j. So this should work for number of number of children as 2. So what I'll do, I'll try this 2 and the number of ages as product of their ages as 4. If I just run this, I get 1 4 and 2 2. But what we don't want is 4 1, but it is also getting printed 4 1. Why this 4 1 is getting printed? Because we are going in the we are starting from 1 here again. So when I equal to 1, j is also again as 1, but we don't want to start from there. So the minimum value j can take is I. And the other thing is, since j and anyway, since for the product of their ages, if I has some value, then j can be at most product of their ages by I, because anyway we have to multiply I and j. So j can at most take product of their ages by I. That is the maximum value for j. So I'll just make those two changes, and if I just run this, we get 1 4 and 2 2. This is for number of children as 2. Let me try one more combination. If number of children is 2 and product is 15, and if I just run, I'll get 1 15 and 3 and 5. If the number of product of their ages is 12, then we should get 1 12, 2 6 and 3 4. So these are the various combinations for number of children is 2 and various products. Now if we want to handle number of children equal to 3, what I will do is I will put one more if condition similarly, and instead of 2 for loops, I will put 3 for loops. I'll basically go from I, j and k, and I'll try to multiply all those 3 things. Whenever the product of their ages matches the given product of their ages, then I'll simply print it. So I'll say number of children equal to 3 here, and then I'll put one more for loop for int k equal to j, that is the starting for value for k, and the maximum value will be product of their ages divided by I into j, because I and j is already taken care in this. Then, and I have k plus plus, and if the product of I and j into k is product of their ages, then we'll simply print I plus j plus k. So this is what we are doing. Now if I just run it with say 3 and 24, if I just run it, then if it will print me 1 1 24, 1 2 12, 1 3 8, 1 4 6, 2 2 6 and 2 3 4. So it seems to be working fine. So for number of children, if it is 1, then we are simply printing the product of their ages. If number of children is 2, then what we are doing, we are taking 2 for loops, and then we are multiplying the values, and whenever it matches the product of the ages, then we are simply printing those values. If it is number of children is 3, then we are taking 3 for loops, and then we are multiplying those 3 values and then printing it. But as you can see here, the number of for loops are increasing as the number of children is increasing, and since this program has to handle no matter how many our children, you can't have if conditions like this. And if the number of children is 6, you can't have like for 6 for loops, or if the number of children is 20, you can't have 20 for loops. So that is not a good idea. So we could in this kind of situation, we could use recursive methods to solve this problems. To understand what are the ways of writing the recursive method, let's do one thing. What we'll do first is, since number of children is 3, you have 3 for loops. When number of children is 2, we have 2 for loops. What I will do here is, if number of children is 1, also I'll write a for loop which is similar to this guy. So what I'll do is, I'll just take this and paste it here, and only thing here is, if as usual, if the product, if here there is only 1, so if I equal to product of their ages, then I'll simply print the product of their ages. So the same method for number of children. Earlier we were directly printing the product of their ages. Instead of that, what I'm suggesting is to make it similar to the other two conditions, I'm putting for loop, and whenever I equal to product of their ages, I'll simply print I. So if I print the possible ages for I equal to 24, then we know it should print 24. We know, since by logic we know it will be definitely the last one, but just to make it similar to the other two for loops, we'll other two conditions will change it this way. Now to make it more to understand it recursively, what I'll do is I'll comment out this code, whatever code we have till now for three conditions. I'll rewrite such that we don't have duplicate code. For example, here this is duplicate with this guy. Whatever we have here and whatever we have here is same, and this guy is duplicate with this and this. So there is a duplicate code between various things. So to avoid this duplicate code, what I will do is we'll write it in a different way. So for that, I'll take all the for loops, three for loops, and depending upon the conditions, we'll do a different thing. So for the first case, we know if the number of children equal to 1 and I equal to product of their ages, then we have to print it. So in this guy, since we have this for loop which is duplicate, here what I'll do is if number of children equal to 1 and if whatever I equal to product of their ages, then we are simply printing I. That's what I am doing it. Else only if the number of children is not equal to 1, we'll go into the other conditions, other for loops. Since if it is only 1, we don't need to go into the other conditions. So we'll do that. What we'll do next is, since here number of children equal to 2, we want to compare I into product of their ages, right? So that I'll put it in the second for loop. Here, if number of children equal to 2, then I'll put that condition I into j equal to product of their ages and then print it. Only if it is not number of children is 2, then it goes into the third for loop, right? And we'll put it here. And similarly for the third guy also, we want to check this number of children equal to 3. If number of children equal to 3, only then it goes here, and then checks if the product is equal to the given product of their ages, then it will print it. So here we'll put else, and if you want, there are like number of children is 4 or things like that, write the other for loops here. Right, this is how we could have done it if we had more number of children, and we are writing the same code in a different format here. So whatever was there here went into here, and I equal to product of their ages went here, and this for loop which was common here, here and here went on the top. And similarly this for loop which was there in these two cases went here, and the number of children equal to 2 came from here, and this check of I into j is here, so that came here. So I just rearranged it in such a way that we have less code, less duplicate code, but there is still some duplicate code because I into j into k is we are basically getting the products and things like that. And the usual problem of like if the children is like 6 or 20 or more, we can't still handle properly. So let's see how we could use recursive methods using this code format. Since we have rearranged this code in a different format, as we have seen here, what I'll do is I'll just get rid of the old commented code. I'm just deleting it. Now we have this product of their ages, and we want to identify what parameters we want to use in the recursive method, such that we can convert this for loop into a recursive thing. So first of all, let's identify what are the things which are common or which has to be passed from one level to another level. So this is one level, this is one more level, and this is one more level. So there are 3 levels or 3 times that recursive method has to be called. So first thing which we need in all the levels is product of their ages. So we need this product of their ages for comparison and also for arriving at the maximum number for the iteration. So that parameter we need. So that I'll just make a list here. Parameters needed for recursive method. First one is product of their ages. And the next thing we need for any loop, as you can see, is for the first guy it is 1, that is okay. For the second guy you have start I, j equal to I, so and you have k equal to j. So this guy is the minimum or starting number for the iteration or for the for loop. So that we also need, that we'll call it as a start number. So for this level it is j and for this level it is I. So if there was one more level below this guy, then it would have been k. So that start number will indicate what will go here. And then we also need what are the various things which we have. Say for example various ages we have got till now. So when you are going here, I need I and j, and when I go to this level I need ijk. If there is one more level I need ijkl. So there are various differing number of ages which we need, or increasing number of ages. So here it will be only one previous age, here it will be 2 previous ages, and here it will be 3 previous ages, and if there was something more there will be 4 previous ages, ijkl. So since that is growing, we can't put it in one number, so we'll take an array of ages. So what I'll call it as previous ages, or I'll simply call it as ages. That will be an array. And the last thing we need is the level. So here the level will be one thing, and this will be a different level, and this will be a different level. Since we need to, for every recursion method, we need to know when to terminate or when it should stop. That will be given by the value of level. So I'll just put one more variable called level, which will tell you what level the current method is operating. So we have this guy. Everything else, product of their ages, start number and level is okay, but the ages, this array will keep on increasing. The size of this guy will keep on increasing. So for example, first you have I only, here you have I and j, whereas you have ijk, and when you go to the 4th level it might be ijkl. So you will have this ages array which will keep on increasing. So we just need to add to the previous thing. If I have I as one in an element in an array, I should have in the next level I need I and j in an array, then I need ijk. So like that I need an array. So for that what I will do is I will simply create a little method which will prefix or which will suffix an element to an existing array. What I have done here is I just copied that method called add element. It is a simple thing. What all it does is it takes an input and adds an element to the at the end of that array, and then return the new array. So if the input was 5, then the output should be 6. So I'm creating input.length plus 5, and I'm assigning the first 5 elements here, and the last element I'm simply saying result of input.length will be that element. So if input length was 5, the output length will be 6. So this is a simple helper method called add element. This we'll try to use for adding the ages, or just adding the ages to an array. What I will do next is now create the actual recursive method. So that guy I will call it as helper, public static void helper method. For that we need to pass the product of their ages and the start number, the actual ages, that is an array, and the level. So with these things we can recurse it. So the first thing we have to find out is what we want to know is when is the termination condition. So for the termination condition, we'll assume that whenever the level will be 0, that will be the termination condition. So and then you have to check if the product matches the product of their ages, then we want to print that thing. So first what I will do is I will get the product of ages till now. So whatever ages we have identified from that array, I'll try to identify, I'll try to calculate the product till now. So I'll simply say int product till now equal to 1 for int ages. I'll simply say product till now star equal to age. So this will be the product till now. So first thing we have to check is if at all the level equal to 0, then if the product till now equal to the product of their ages, whatever that thing is, if both of them are there, product till now will represent ijk or ij or I, depending upon the level. If the number of children is 1, then by the time level will become 0, there will be only one element in the array, and so product till now will become whatever that I. But if there are 2 levels, then product till now will become I into j. If there are 3 levels, then it becomes I into j into k. So that is represented in product till now. So as we are doing this comparison, product till now equal to product of their ages, then we want to print them. For printing them, what I will do is I'll again use the for each loop int age colon ages. I'll simply say system.out.print. Since we want to print all of them in single line, I'll do this, and finally say system.out.println, so that whenever it finds it, it will do the line. Before that, all the ages till now will be printed by delimiting using the space. If at all the level is not 0, what we have to do is we want to call that guy in a for loop, as we have done here, and call the subchildren. So for here we are calling these guys, right? So for this guy we are calling this guy. So if there was a 4th level, we would have called that for loop. So that is why we need, if at all the level is not 0, we will do a for loop, for which I will simply say for int I equal to, we want to say start number j, here it is j, here it is I, and here it is 1. So whatever is the loop, whatever we got as the start number, that will be the start number here, and I less than or equal to product of their ages divided by product till now. Like as we have discussed earlier, product till now will be I into j here, or it will be simply I, or here since it is the first level, it will be 1. So that product till now we have to do, and then I plus plus. Then here what I have to do is we have to call this method helper again. So if it is level equal to 0, we don't need to call, but if the level is higher, we have to call it. So simply say helper, and first thing I have to pass is product of their ages, that is okay, and the second thing I have to do is start number. So for the second guy, the start number will be whatever the current I value. For this method, it will be start number, but when you are calling one more thing, the start number will be I. And not only that, we also want to add this I to the ages array. So if we got I, we want to add j to it and pass it. If we have ij, we want to add ijk to it and pass it. So what I will do is I will simply say add element of whatever ages we have. For that I will simply add I to it, and the number of levels, since it is going one level less, I want to say level minus 1. So if we are at level 2, then we are calling the level 0, which is one level lower. So this is how we could have written the recursive method. As you can see, it has everything which we have here. If we take this example, first we are checking if the product is matching or not. If it matches, then we are printing. So that is what is happening here. And then we have the other part, in the else part, where you call the one more method internally. So that is there in this particular thing. So now what I'll do is I'll get rid of this main method. Since this we have here, I'll comment it out, and I'll simply call for, because we need the starting this guy, right, for int I equal to 1, whatever this thing is, that level for int I equal to 0, I less than product of their ages I plus plus. First I'll call it as helper with product of their ages, and I will be I, but ages we need an array, right? Since we don't have anything to start with, I'll simply say new int array of I. So I'm creating an array with just one element, and then level will be number of children minus 1. That will be the level which we have to go. So we'll start with 3 and we'll go to 0. So with this thing, let's try if it works. So with this thing, let's try if it works. So what I'll do is I'll have this commented code, right? I'll just get rid of this commented code which is not useful. So I have this print possible methods. All it has is a for loop which is calling the helper method. In the helper method, we are checking if the level is 0 and then comparing the product. If product matches, then we are printing it. If not, then we are simply calling the second level with those ages by just adding the current age to it. So first what I'll do is I'll check if with number of children as 1 if it is working. So it seems to be working fine. Then what I'll do is I'll change the number of children to 2 and then I'll run it. So it seems to be working fine. 124, 212, 3, 8 and 4, 6. Then I'll make it 3 and then run it. So I have 1, 124, 1, 2, 12, 1, 3, 8 and these combinations. Now till now this was okay. Now if I added the number of children to 4, so if I just run this guy, now it will print 1, 124, 112, 113. So number of children 4 is also working. So if I have said number of children was 5, so we should print these 5 levels. So no matter how many levels we have, it will just work fine. Say if the age was like 108 or 1080 and if the number of children was 20, let's run this. As you can see, there are various combinations. There are so many combinations for this thing. If I just had like say 5 children, then there are some combinations like this. So many combinations here as well. So this is how we can do this program. Since it seems to be working fine till now, what I'll do is I'll try to put this guy in the our website and see how it works. So here print possible ages, I'll just take this method and put it there, and for helper and the add element, I'll put it in the additional methods required section. So I just copied everything here. So here I have the additional methods and here I have the original method. Now let's run this. It's testing and registering the answer. So as you can see, it's met the requirements, and it has printed all the possibilities for children 3, number of children 2 and 1, and the output is as expected. So this program demonstrates how we could effectively use recursive methods to make complex solutions simple. So whatever we have done in this initial for loops, we have got rid of it and simply used helper methods to make things possible and can support high levels of values. And thanks for watching this video. Bye bye.